Kaboom! This is Hot Mike. Welcome back. We're coming off the weekend right now. It is Monday evening, and Vanessa and I are sitting here, and we just did a podcast, and we're about to talk about the fights just a little bit.
Just a little recap.
So the fights that we are talking about is UFC Vegas 33. I don't think it.
33.
33, does that sound right? Main event, Sean Strickland against Uriah Hall. Almost said Faber just there.
Should we work our way backwards?
Yeah, start with the main event and kind of work our way back. Let's do that. Main event, I didn't see it going that way. I didn't. You know what? I shouldn't start with a negative. I was so impressed with Sean Strickland's pace. The pressure that he put on Hall, I wasn't expecting, and I can certainly tell Uriah Hall wasn't expecting it. And Hall got busted up, got lit up. By the end of that fight, which I can't believe it went the distance, all 5 rounds, I mean, his eyes were so swollen shut. It was a rough-looking Uriah Hall, and seeing him get a little long in the tooth and coming kind of towards the end of his career, that was disappointing because I'm hoping for guys like Hall, guys like Stephen Thompson, seeing them go on one last great tear towards the title. Something like that. That's what I would love to see. What I talked about the last episode, I believe, was actually with Maya, was talking about how I would love to see Uriah Hall get several wins under his belt and then get a title opportunity and fight Izzy. I really think their striking would match up in an interesting way. I don't know that Hall would win that fight, but I want to see it. And I definitely don't see that happening now. He could certainly come back, but hey, Sean Strickland is a tough mother, and I think he put on a great performance. He's a relentless dude, and I think his jab really paid off and paid dividends for him on Saturday night.
And that was Sean Strickland's first 5-round fight, correct?
I believe so.
Is that
first
right?
main event. First main event. I think that's right. Yeah.
Well, he passed the test.
He certainly did. Yep. The bright lights didn't scare him, and they didn't seem to have any effect on his performance. He's real relaxed though. I guess I didn't put a ton of thought into it. I'll have to admit this fight and this fight card was a bit of an afterthought. Had a lot going on this weekend, and didn't get to watch these fights live. Had to record them and watch them after the fact. So I was a little distracted going into this fight week. But I guess in hindsight, I don't see Sean Strickland getting really spooked by the spotlight of a main event. This is a guy who consistently loves just talking shit in the octagon.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyways, interested what the next pair up for Strickland would be. If I'm
who do you think it's going to be?
Matchmaker. Can you pull up the rankings for the middleweight division? I want to see who's like 8, 9, and 10. I think Strickland was 11, and I think Hall was ranked 8. So I don't really know how the ranking system works. I think there's many contributing factors.
So who did you want to know?
Who is the kind of the higher end of the top 10? So who's 6 through 10?
So 6 is Derek Brunson.
Okay.
7 is Jack
Hermanson. Okay.
8 is Darren Till.
Okay.
9 is Kelvin Gastelum.
Ooh.
And 10 is Uriah.
Okay. 10's Uriah, and is Strickland like within the top 15?
Well, according to this list, he's 16.
He's 16. Okay.
But this might not be updated yet.
Oh,
after
yeah.
the fight.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's now Monday evening. He almost certainly has moved up in the rankings. Well, Till hasn't fought in a hot second. But that would be a fun matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Gastelum is fighting Cannonier soon.
Number 5.
That's an upcoming.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an exciting fight.
Mm-hmm.
And Hermanson, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know that Strickland has earned a Hermanson, but maybe Till. I kind of like the idea of Strickland versus Darren Till.
Do you know Darren Till got kicked off Instagram, or like his account was suspended for a while?
What's going on with him?
I don't know. That's all I know. But I did look, like, I'm such a Darren Till fan that I definitely looked him up on Instagram when I started following fighters on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And I was not a fan of the things he was posting. They were pretty bro-y and pretty misogynistic. So it was probably just him getting a little, too opinionated. Or, I don't know. This is cancel culture. A
little too honest?
Yeah.
Are you canceling Darren Till right now?
I'm not. I still am a huge fan. I don't have to follow his account. That's the thing, is like, I don't think we need to take down accounts like we're doing. You just don't follow that person. Like,
yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
And I can read between the lines. Darren Till, you are on notice. Compliments of Hansy Vansy.
Also, keep winning fights, please. Like, win one, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, he hasn't fought in a hot second.
I know. I haven't seen him win in a while.
His last fight. I think if it's Strickland coming off of this very impressive win. I mean, this is an incredible fight. We didn't get to see Uriah Hall. Uriah Hall had to go through a whole training camp. All of the pain and struggle that goes with that, and then has a fight with Chris Weidman where Weidman breaks his leg off of a checked leg kick. Doesn't get to actually have a true fight with Chris Weidman. Mm-hmm. Hard to see. So Uriah has to go through a whole nother training camp. He didn't look like himself. He was not ready to fire off, and Strickland was pretty much beating him literally to the punch almost every second of the fight.
Nice. Well, I did look it up. The Till's last fight with Whitaker was July 25th, 2020.
Okay.
So that was last summer.
And that was he lost the decision.
Yes.
For that.
Yep.
Was it a split?
Unanimous.
Mm-hmm. I think I remember that fight ending and being like, Till put up a great fight, but yeah. Robert got it done. I mean, we've always had this goal, this dream for Till to fight Izzy. Mm-hmm. And really just a goal and dream for Till, which we're definitely big fans of.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I didn't take notice of the guy until he absolutely steamrolled Cowboy Cerrone, which hurt my feelings. But I then took notice, and then I became a fan. I'm curious where he's going to go, if he's going to keep climbing the rankings. I feel like the hype on that guy got derailed from a little-known name of Street Jesus, a.k.a. Jorge Masvidal.
Such a fan now.
That was a rough fight.
Mm-hmm.
We watched that fight. Oh, and then there was all the backstage shenanigans where he popped off on, well, really, it was Leon Edwards talking shit, and Jorge doesn't take kindly to that.
Gave him a 1-2.
Gave him he gave him a 2-piece and a soda. Is that what it was? 3-piece and a soda?
Something like
I think it was a 3-piece. I think he threw 3 punches at him.
Dang.
And then gave him a soda pop. The next fight I'd love to highlight is the women's strawweight.
Yeah.
Buys has that very, very close to illegal head kick over Paula.
Mm-hmm.
And, boy, we were waiting for the replay on that one. Because it was like, the fight's over. Was that legal? What do you do in that situation? It did look 100% legal. It does feel 100% lucky that it was legal. She got performance of the night on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
She got that bonus.
Wow.
And I saw a really, really touching... Well, her reacting to the bonus was really touching. She kind of just crumbles in the back locker rooms with emotion. And she's cornered by her boyfriend. I don't think it's her husband, but he's embracing her. And she's just, emotional, or emotions just pouring out. And then she said in the post-fight press conference, she was talking about how, like, her bank account is in the negative right now. That she... If she just got her win and the show purse and the win purse, that would have just like covered bills. But this fight bonus really is life-changing. So I'm so happy for her.
That's awesome.
And I'm so happy that was legal. Like, and I bet if we talked to her, she'd be like, yeah, I know how to fire off a quick leg. And I knew she was elevating, and I knew she'd be up in time. Like, I don't think I'm saying it was 100% luck. I'm gonna walk back on that a little bit. I bet it's 40% luck, and 60%. I knew that was gonna land on time. Yeah. But it was so close. But she's a tactician. She's excellent, and I'm really excited to see what she does in the strawweight division. And what kind of competition she'll get after this.
It was a spectacular lady fight, and there were 2 lady fights last night. Supposed to be 3, but somebody missed weight, I think.
Oh, is that why we had
I think that's what it was.
Man, I just was not up on this fight card.
Well, we had a busy week.
It was a very busy week. Apologies, but if you're watching this podcast, you definitely get MMA news from elsewhere too. So let us know. Fry Yoder.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So I'm a fan of Yoder's Instagram. I like following her. I think she's cool lady. And I think she looked really good going into that fight. But she was no match for the Street Fighter. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it Jin Yu Fry?
Yes.
Do I have that right? She is fun to watch. They're both fun to watch.
Super fun. That
might have been certainly my favorite fight on the prelims. That might have been my favorite fight the entire night. It was just a war. You had seen it. You saw it live.
I did.
I was indisposed, and you saw it, and you kind of gave me some hints on the way in which it went.
Oops.
Yeah, some might call it spoiler. You gave me some hints on maybe which way this fight went. I was not expecting such an even match between the two women. I really thought that that Fry had run away with the fight, that she had really beaten Yoder. And I kind of, when you told me, I can't even remember exactly what you said, but it made me believe like, oh, I bet Yoder lost very badly. She didn't. Yeah. She put up an incredible fight, and I hope they got some kind of fight bonus.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I didn't look that up, but
I don't know how they're. I can't even believe that I have to have an opinion on who gets bonuses because we know fighter pay now. We know that they're barely making a living doing this thing for our entertainment, doing this blood sport for our pleasure, and they're barely able to pay their bills. I'm glad it's part of the narrative now, or that it's being talked about. It's crazy that like Jake Paul is leading the charge on this. He's the one who's like trolling the MMA community or the MMA higher heads and saying like, pay your fighters. And it's like, wow, Jake Paul, you're the crusader for this?
That's
I
really
kind of
cool.
like that about you.
Yeah, that's nice.
It might be the only thing I like about you, but respect.
Yeah.
But isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
That's now part of our conversation. Like, God, I hope they got the fight bonus. It's like, well, in reality, I hope every single one of those people on the card makes a living. I wish they were making a living. Like, we don't look at an NFL player or an NBA player and say like, oh, I hope they don't struggle to pay their bills. No way. There's no way.
Do you think UFC makes the same kind of money that NFL makes? Is that the kind of money we're talking? Because I don't really know.
No.
The back end of
I
it.
don't. We're certainly getting out of my depth too. The numbers. That's not the part of the sport that I love learning about or doing in-depth research. But I know that they're making
very little.
What I've heard, but the UFC is making a lot. They make a lot of money, and they're basically getting away with kind of these slave wages.
Yeah,
that's kind of a weird term because slaves made no wages.
That is a funny term,
right?
Yeah, you just
Am I? Do I have the term right? I know I have the history right.
Slave wages. That sounds like that sounds right.
Maybe that is just kind of an insulting term. It's like, that's another way of saying nothing.
Maybe that's it.
Which is not what they're making. They are making money.
Yeah.
Look at me now. I'm talking about it. Instead of just talking about the art that I love. Two people going at it. I think it's good that it's being talked about. I don't think it should be talked about by me because I don't know what I'm talking about. But let's let Jake Paul talk about it because he knows money.
And let's just hope that since we started watching fights together, which is still only like 3 years now, they moved over to ESPN, which is so cool. Like, I think more people are watching fights now. And I think if there are more fight fans, like if the UFC audience actually grows with being on ESPN, that could change down the line. That they might, get paid what they should.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I hope we're seeing just the beginning, the fact that this conversation has started, that we will start seeing change in the next several years, or a few years, hopefully. But any other fights that we should highlight on this card? I know we had a couple of cancellations, but was there any other standout? I'll double down. Jinyu Fry and Ashley Yoder, maybe the most entertaining fight of the night. Now, watching Sean Strickland put on a clinic was very entertaining. I really enjoyed those two ladies just going at it, pushing the pace, really testing each other's skill set and their chins. Those strikes were landing. Jared Gooden had a TKO victory against Nicolas. I'm reading it upside down.
Nicolas Stolze.
Stolze. That happened quickly. I think it happened so fast I was looking away and had to rewind.
Yeah, first minute.
Within the first minute.
Well, 108.
Okay.
So just after. And there were a couple great knockouts. And the one just before him was a name I cannot pronounce against Colin England. That one.
Oh, that was that head kick. That was an incredible head kick.
Yeah.
Boy, I didn't see that coming, and neither did he. Brian Barberena and Joseph Witt. That was really exciting. Witt got the decision. I think that was I started with the main card and then went back to the prelims. But so the first fight I saw, I think, was Barberena versus Witt. Witt got the decision, but man, that was I found that to be also a very fun fight where it's touch and go. You didn't know. I mean, these guys were landing bombs on each other, continuing to press forward. And if there's nothing that Barberena likes more than a brutal, gritty brawl like he got, I feel like he just makes those fights happen, whether you want him to or not. It's so hard to put Barberena away that you're gonna end up fighting this bloody battle, tooth and nail.
May I remind you of a couple opinions you said you wanted to share?
Yeah.
There's a John Jones fight you said you wanted to see.
Yes. Okay, so we have got a fight coming up against Derek Lewis and Cyril Gahn. Which for some crazy reason, it's for an interim belt. I do not understand.
I don't understand interim belts.
I've never really gotten them unless.
Haven't really tried to look it up.
Well, unless you put on an interim title, or you make that available because your champion he can't fight for a certain reason, like whether he can't fight because he's injured, he's rehabilitating something, or he just fought. And there's a lot of buzz around a couple other fighters. Occasionally they'll do this fight. It's honestly, I think it's for marketing. You can market a title fight better. If there's a belt on the line, more people want to tune in. It's psychological. I don't bite on that. Like, I don't bite on it in the way that, oh, there's a title on the line. No, now I'm going to watch it. No, I'm a degenerate. If they're fighting, I'm watching.
Well,
if there's violence, I'm watching it.
If they want more marketing opportunities with belts on the line, then you should follow that logically to, hey, more weight classes and hydration testing.
Yeah. You got to fight your hydrated weight.
Hydrated weight.
Yeah. I like that. The fight that I would love to see, I would love to see John Jones have a heavyweight fight of a top 5 guy, maybe top 3 guy, before he fights for the title. I don't think John Jones wants this. This is what I want. Honestly, I think John Jones would like to get paid all the money,
sure.
Fight Francis Ngannou, and win or lose,
be done,
retire.
Okay.
I think if he wins, immediate retirement. Maybe. I haven't fully thought this out. But the fight I really, really want to see is John Jones against Cyril Gahn. I think Cyril Gahn is maybe the most... I've said athletic in the past, and I guess I want to clarify what I'm saying, because I don't want to... I'm not saying Cyril Gahn... Well, Cyril Gahn and Francis Ngannou are very different athletes and very different body types, physical specimens, but they're different in the way they can move and the way they do move. And Francis is this terribly scary weapon that is more powerful than just about any other fighter in that weight division that we've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
Next to Derek Lewis. We saw them fight once, and they were both terrified of each other's power. And I think it goes down in history, not just maybe the most boring heavyweight fight. It might be the most boring main event fight that the UFC has ever put on. I don't know that there'd be many people who disagree with that. They barely touched each other in 25 minutes because they were so afraid of the other guy connecting.
Wow.
So those are two guys who have weapons. They have nuclear bombs in their hands, and their skill set is evolving and improving. I'd say probably Francis more than Derek Lewis. Derek, he's certainly not a one-trick pony, but he does not have a bag of tricks. He might have a fistful of tricks. Like it's a couple of things he can do to you, but they're very effective. Francis Ngannou, he's got some good kicks. He's got and Derek Lewis can throw some high kicks in there, but I think Francis has really been working on his wrestling, or that's what I've heard or seen. With Cyril gone, we've never seen a heavyweight move the way he does deep into a fight. And at least I haven't. I mean, even with the greats like Cain Velasquez and Daniel Cormier, we don't see guys bouncing on the balls of their feet like they're a middleweight boxer into the 4th and the 5th round. And I think Cyril Gane has a level of athleticism that it would be really interesting to see who could be John Jones, the greatest of all time. And what he's trying to do is prove it across the biggest weight class, the heavyweight class, to go up a division and clear it out. I don't think he's too old to clear it out, but he's not too old to claim the belt. So
yeah,
there might be something there where John is not thrilled to fight Francis Ngannou. But if you're going to retire as the greatest of all time, you have to beat that guy. But he might want to see how Francis is tested a little bit longer before he gets in there. But also, I think he's asking for, I mean, FU money to the nth degree, where it's like, I'm going to take this fight, and my family's set. Not just my kids, but my kids' kids, their kids' kids. Like, this is a plan for the future. I have an opportunity to really set my family up for life and for generations to come.
Yeah, I hear it's really good for kids if you give them all the money they need.
Yeah.
It teaches them really good work ethic.
They shouldn't have to work for anything. That's not good for kids. No. Studies have shown it's very bad for their backs. I would love to see John Jones fight Cyril Gane. That is a matchup that I'm very interested in, and it's a fighting style that not even John Jones maintained at a lighter weight division. John has become very flat-footed, and he just hasn't fought in so long.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
As I think I brought it up to Maya. I'm not sure if it was on the podcast or not, but I brought up this opinion, this hope that those two guys would get into the cage together sometime. And I think she said, and very appropriately said, I just want to see John Jones do anything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Get off Instagram and go do something.
Get in the cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the hot take on John Jones. And what do we got coming up this weekend? Will you pull up that card real quick?
Yeah.
I believe this is the Lewis Gane weekend that we've got coming up.
Yep.
Can you take us through the main card?
Yes, absolutely. So let me just get there.
Well, I wonder how this footwork, how the footwork difference between Cyril and Derek is going to be. Because Derek, speaking of flat-footed.
This looks like such a good night. So the co-main is Jose Aldo. Pedro Munoz, yes, that's a great fight. Fantastic. Love that. Don't love that for Pedro. And then before
It's a tough
that,
fight for him.
it's Michael Chiesa
Chiesa
fighting Vincent Luque.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, I know who I want to win, but it's going to be a great fight.
Oh, I'm curious. Who do you want to
I
win?
want Michael Chiesa to win.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Uh-huh.
I like his I think
Mhm.
he's just a really classy dude.
Prediction.
Mhm.
Chiesa's not going to want to stand up and make this a kickboxing fight with Luque.
Think he'll try to submit him?
If Chiesa cannot get this to the ground, he loses on the feet from strikes.
Okay. I
If
like
he
that
can get
submission,
this to the ground,
prediction.
I think that is that is Chiesa's best chance of winning.
Mm-hmm.
Is changing levels, going for the takedown, and working on submissions.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he can put him out with ground strikes or putting away Vicente Luque. Maybe the only way you can do it is submission.
Also on the main card,
Yep.
Angie Overkill Hill is fighting Tisha Torres.
Nice.
Mhm.
Oh, I love that fight.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is great. Okay, well,
That's going to be a battle.
Hill is going to have the length and reach advantage. But Tisha is explosive. She is a little firecracker. So I'm going to say Hill needs to stay at range, keep her distance.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tisha's going to want to keep it real tight and fight in a phone booth. But I also see this going to the ground too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Tisha's not going to want to stay at range and be vulnerable to Hill's very long kicks, her flicking kicks.
Yeah.
And Hill's got a really stiff jab. So I see Tisha changing levels, getting a double leg. And
I
they
see
go to the
Tisha
ground.
eating some knees when she changes levels.
Going for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good prediction.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Last fight on the main card is Song Yudong.
Song Yudong? Uh-huh.
And Casey Kenny.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's
bantamweight.
Well, that should be interesting. I bet that's gonna be a fast, quick fight. Not. I don't see it going the distance. I see. I'm gonna just make a prediction. TKO victory for Kenny second round.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's they're both very lightning fast, certainly at that weight class.
Mm-hmm.
Strikes are just thrown so quickly. I see Kenny getting it done.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Any highlights on the prelims?
Prelims, another lady fight. Jessica Penne is fighting again. And she's fighting Carolina Kowalkiewicz. I don't know that.
God bless you.
Yeah. I don't have the best
Oh,
pronunciation.
I remember her. Yes.
Yeah. If I can hear it, I can recreate it.
She is, boy, she's tough as nails. Ed Herman still doing the damn thing against Menafield. Ooh, that's fun. Bobby Green's fighting.
Mm-hmm.
This is great. I'm not going to make any predictions on those. Interesting fight for Bobby Green. Ed Herman, boy, he's been around for so long. I'm actually excited to see that Alonzo Menafield fight. That's going to be great. But yeah, kicking off the main card with that the lady fight, or the prelims.
Mm-hmm.
That should be good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll come back and we'll break down those fights and see what we think.
Sweet.
Yeah. This has been Hot Mike, Hot Take. We're out.
Bye.